The world a better place. Reach out and touch your hand. Make a friend if you can. Reach out and touch your hand. And make a friend if you can. Well, praise Allah, you see. He said that's what he did. It's rocket of humanity. He brought the truth to make us free. Reach out and touch your hand. Make a friend if you can. Reach out and touch your hand. And make a friend if you can.
Islam.
Islam.
This really feels nice. Praise Allah. Praise Allah for letting us know that this exists. Now this should be inspiration. But you know what? You should not have to be waiting to get here to feel like this. You should be feeling like this in your temple. Now if you're not, then you better make some adjustments. Because you're settling for less than what you should. And don't you know that is a slave mentality? Don't settle for less than this. Don't you know you need all the uplifting you can get? You can't wait till the 15th of September. You better be making some changes in your house. Because that's where it begins, at home. Yeah, we need some home improvement. I give praise to Almighty God Allah. I'm grateful to have this type of life that I can experience here on earth. I don't have to be, you know what? I don't have to live a negative life no more. Hey, how does it feel not to be black? I mean, you should be really feeling good not to be black. Don't you know in blackness, you're lost? In blackness, you don't hear the sound of his voice. So how can you be a member of the flock? Oh yeah, we are returning. We're giving it back and returning. But for us to really give it back, you got to really give it up that's in what's in your heart. See, sometimes we settle for we so used to selling for less that we think we can hold that muck in our heart and call ourselves still practicing love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Don't you know muck and love don't mix? You got to give it out. You got to give it up. You got to be willing to trust Allah and know that it's going to be all right. Yes, I may, in the past we've been taught when we express ourselves in a humble way, that shows weakness. It takes courage to be humble. It takes courage to have a willingness to take something from somebody. When you know for real, you could get back if you wanted to. But you also know this, by being taught by Prophet Noble Drawley, there are consequences for your actions. Oh yeah. There's a price one has to pay for being dirty. Look, the prophet identified it. I'm not saying nothing that you don't know. He said, I got some good morals and I got some dirty morals. Now we got to make sure we take a self-evaluation to make sure we're not the dirty one or the dirty one. Don't take for granted that you're clean. You have to examine your heart. You have to call remembrance to your age. You have to make sure that you have not mistreated anybody. You have to make sure that you're holding the thought where you treat people the way you want people to treat you. You can't have no attitude with people and think you're going to uplift them. You can't talk down to people and think you're going to uplift them and then come around after you done blow them out and then you say, you know, I love you. You can't do that. If you're going to be about this, be about it. Let me tell you something. When you're about this, you're not on show. You're going to do it whether somebody watching you or not. But if you're a showman, you need an audience. Because who you are, who does the showman appeal to? The one who is shallow-minded. And the shallow-minded is the ones who give the applause to the showman. But the showman has one thing that he's done that's going to be his downfall. He's lost sight of reality. He has accepted reality as being, no, he has accepted falsehood as being real. He thinks, the showman, that man can elevate you to a state where you gain respect. But as you can plainly see, man, what man giveth, man taketh away. Don't let man fool you and thinking that you can live off the illusion of power. It's an illusion. It's here today and gone tomorrow. Don't you know who you better learn to rely on is the one you can't see. That's who you need to rely on. The one you can't see, yet sees all. Yeah. We got to learn to trust the unseen. We got to learn to hear his voice when he's speaking. But before you hear him, you've got to get some stillness in your life. Because if you're entertaining those thoughts that are unright, that are not right, that's a new word, unright. Hey, look, if you are entertaining devilish thoughts, you don't hear the still small voice. Because when you are involved with devilment, all you're doing is making a whole bunch of noise, and your whole head is full of noise. See, we're talking about practicing now. We have went through the period where we weren't sure. Now, if you have been practicing, you are what you know. We should know now that this is real. This is a way of life that will give us what we need to aspire to those things that are of worthwhile, that are quality, of the highest quality. You can't tell me if you've been practicing that your life not better. I dare you. If you've been living this life, you know your life is better. I'm not saying that you think it's better. You know your life is better. You can walk into your home and your home is better. Your relationships are better. This makes your life better. Because Islam is a way of life. And if it means peace, your life is peaceful. If you're having a bunch of problems in your life, it's the problems that you have created for yourself. And you created those problems because you are one of the great pretenders. You have not made a choice. You're making your words in a semblance of truth, but the business is your life is only to deceive. Now it's time. Every tongue now must confess its own. Are you a follower of God, or are you a follower of he who calls himself God? We're at that point now. Your Moorish scientific of America is ready to flourish, but they can't flourish until you change your mind. You're so busy wanting to see something that you think seeing something is going to give you some credibility. They'll give you everything you want to see to stop you from doing this. They don't want you to do this. You want a building? Here, take that building over there. It's yours. They'll give it to you just to derail you. If you fixed on those things that you think you see, they're going to give you what you think you see. But this time, this day, if we are to progress forward, we got to live it. All the nations of the earth in these modern days are seeking peace. And we're saying that our way of life offers peace. So therefore, we must practice being peaceful. This is a great organization. We don't demean this organization by contributing to the misunderstanding of it. There's a lot of people out there that's contributing to the misunderstanding of the Moorish sign symbol of America. But their disguise is being stripped off. Because in the midst of security, it's stripped off. And they blunder it into life and don't even know it. And then when they blunder, they are exposed. And then you want to blame somebody and say, he told on me. Ain't nobody told on you, you told on yourself. So we're trying to get right in here. We will not allow the element that creates division amongst the righteous people to be present in our company. You got to have courage to say no. Get thee behind me, Satan. If you want this to be right, if you want to experience this on a continuous basis, then you have to live it and you have to accept it. You have to say, I will have this. I will not have that. It's all right. Because a lot of times you want to be talking to the people that's closest to you. But until you get some courage, until you get some heart, Allah is not going to give you what you're not willing to make the sacrifice to get for yourself. You want this? This is yours. Don't you know we're supposed to be like this? We're supposed to feel like this. Our forefathers felt like this. And even higher. They felt so much like this that they were able to build a holy city.
Right.
You know what type of state of mind you got to be in to build a holy city? You know what you got to be feeling like to contribute to the building of a holy city? This is yours. Don't let nobody come in and take this because they don't want to submit. We are submitters to the will of Almighty God, and if they're not, so be it. But if you don't want to go, don't hinder me. Because we're going to march forward towards the kingdom. It just takes a little heart, and a commitment to God. Don't let it in. Whatever you do, hold your post and don't let it in. You hold your post. Yes, there are going to be challenges while you're holding your post, but for every victory over self, gives added strength. You got to be challenged. You want to be a weakling? Well, you got to challenge. You got to be challenged so you can exercise. You got to exercise. You got to do this. He brought us out of the state of blackness. He brought us out of that state. He gave us something that we can shout about.
Yes, he did.
So yeah, this is a beautiful night. Yes, it is. 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 But this is a great movement. So come on, y'all. Let's do this thing. I mean, the world is awry. Somebody got to offer some stability. The people need guidance. They need direction. They need footprints they can follow. And we make them as we follow the prophet's footprints. Everybody ain't going to go. But not because they can't. It's because they choose not to. Because it's open for all who think their condition can be better. That's what we're trying to do. You know, regardless of what you're going through. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for the prophet, it'd be worse than you experiencing now. I bet you that. The prophet teaches you how to deal with it. By teaching you how to think. And don't you know you create a pleasant condition out of an unpleasant condition? Because you have the power to create. Why experience it when you don't have to? Are we so slave bound that we don't want to accept the fact that we are creators and make our own? Do we need to wait for somebody to come and say, I'm going to make it better for you? When the prophet then came to free us from those cumbrous shackles. You stand up, you be yourself, and you put your hand in Allah's hand, and all will be well. Do what you're supposed to do. Show the prophet that you're willing to listen to what he says. Get your temples right. And if those who think their temples are right, make them better.
That's right.
That's what needs to be done right. Hold your meetings on time, consistently. We're talking about helping people, not when we feel like helping somebody, but helping people all the time. If we are signed up to go a certain way in this movement, you go that way. That's what we got to do. We got to reevaluate our commitment. And everybody who likes to hold stuff, you ain't doing nothing but eating yourself up. And the reason that you don't know it because it's being done from within. Better let stuff go. Let it go. Let the prophet do his work with you. And stop picking and choosing the verses you want to use. Like to pick and choose verses. The one that you want to support your evil deeds. Yeah. But hey, look. Hey! You know, I'm just happy to see you respond.
See you, Branchie.
You know, don't let this go. Look, you gotta stand up and defend it. They're going to come to you to derail you. They're going to come to you to change your current of thought. You got to be able to fight it. You got to be able to be firm, and you got to stand, and you got to protect the prophet in the temple. Don't let it in. When you see it coming in, you say Islam, and you go the other way, because that's trouble. And the prophet says to us, when we see trouble, we go the other way. And trouble will manifest itself. You should be able to, by now, if you're doing any small portion of practice, you should be able to hear the tone when it changes. You should be able to know, wait a minute, you done made your words to sound like the prophet, but that ain't what he's saying. They should not be able to fool you now unless you just want to be a fool. Let's take our place in the affairs of men. Yes. Let's lead them right. Get yourself right. This ain't no show game. This ain't for show. You do this quietly in the lane. You move about doing your work. Allah magnifies your light. Allah will show the people you when it's best for you to be seen. Because for real, if you know what I know, a lot of you wouldn't want to be seen so much. All these cameras they got in this land. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm sharing all that with you because I like it for myself, so I like it for you. I want to share with you what's been shared with me. I'm saying that this life works. I'm saying if you truly commit yourself to this way of life, it works. Your life will improve. Everything will get better. You won't have to worry about anything. That's right. And I'll tell you what, I guarantee you. Now, who can offer you a guarantee about a better way of life than the prophet of Islam? And say, if you don't believe it, prove him wrong. Because I guarantee this too. I bet you if you do it with any level of consistency, you'll see it the best thing you ever grabbed hold to. So that's it. I'm done. I give praise to the great God of the universe, who is almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. I give honor to the last prophet in these days, Noble Drew Ali, the prophet who has come before the fire to prepare us to receive salvation. It's burning all around us. It's flooding all around us. But we're protected. You trust Allah, He's going to protect you. That's right. Yes. I give honor to all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, etc. And I give honor to Marcus Garvey. I give honor to all past, supreme, and grand advisors and moderators. Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother Nelson Bey, Brother D. Blakely Bey, and to our former Grand Sheik and moderator, Brother Alaville, who we have been blessed to be in his company. Yes. And we're blessed. We're truly blessed. And I give honor to all state, local officials. I give honor to all national officials, and I thank them so very much for their commitment to this movement. You know, it's a blessing to work amongst honest people. It's a blessing to work amongst honest people. People you don't have to worry about taking no money. You know how hard it is to find people who don't take money? So if you got honest people, you're blessed. We're blessed as a nation. We got people who are trying to live this and show you it can be done. And I'm grateful to be in the company of those who did. I like to read from the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science School of America. I like to read a few verses from chapter number 48, in the time and fulfilling of the prophecy. The last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus in those days, to warn and stir up the nation and prepare them to receive the divine creed which was to be taught by Jesus. In these modern days there came it forward, who was divinely prepared by the great God of Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, and his name is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old-time religion and the everlasting gospel to the Son of Man, that every nation shall and must worship under their own binding feature and return to their own and be one with their Father, God Allah. Peace.
Peace.
Islam, Moorish. Islam. I'd like to thank Brother R. Jones-Bey, our National Grand Sheik of Moorish Science Temple of America, for reading from the Quran, chapter 48, in the time and the fulfilling of the prophecies, and also for the wonderful words that he spoke. We had a great evening tonight. I appreciate everyone for their words that they spoke, imitating Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam. I'm going to read the warning. Prophet warns all Muslims. Governors ordered to read proclamation in each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card to Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by a prophet, the prophet Noble Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is setting out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet in the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Ali. Peace.
Why is it hard to understand? He was divinely prepared. Why is it hard to understand? He was divinely prepared.
Dear Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Brother D. Lewis ill, please pardon me. But I just wanted to write you this letter. Since I started to follow your lessons, my life's got better. And no, I never met you on this carnal.